Daddy of them all. 127th edition, Sunday Fun Day Short Round.
The dad, Cheyenne Frontier Days Short Round, 2023. 85 degrees. Fixing to start hearing some anthem and some bucking horses loaded. Best time of the year.
Today you were going to watch a day that cowboys and cowgirls tried just that much harder for. Because you see there's 3 buckles that are the most prestigious in the world. It's a World's Championship, it's an NFR Championship, and a Cheyenne Frontier Days Championship. But the road to the championship is paved with hardships. It's paved with obstacles. There's over $1 million on the line today. So what do you say, Cheyenne? Are you ready?
As we celebrate heritage, tradition, and celebrate cowboys and cowgirls. That's what it's all about today as we get ready to crown champions here in this historic arena.
The first time growing up in Australia I ever heard of Cheyenne Frontier Days was watching the movie 8 Seconds, I think when I was like 5. When I started wanting to get into riding bulls, I would watch that all the time, and I mean, of course, it's about Lane Frost and shows when he died in Cheyenne.
Man, I was fortunate enough to come to Cheyenne as a little kid, growing up watching my Uncle Casey compete here, and then later on coming here to the high school finals, and later on in my bulldogging career, coming here as being 18, entering it, you know, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever, to be able to come watch the dad, much less compete at it.
I would say probably my first recollection of the Cheyenne Frontier Days would have to be when I was real little, like 2, maybe 3 years old. We always watched rodeos and stuff, and I was a rodeo fanatic, so obviously I'd watched 8 Seconds and learned about that whole story and everything, and then to see the rodeo on the TV, you know, in the summer, I was always sit down and watch that. So it's been a long, long time that I've been able to see it or know about it, I guess.
You know, it's just part of the monumental rodeos that you hear about and watch growing up. It's here in Salinas and Pendleton, and you know, if you can be one of the guys to win one of those rodeos, I mean, they can never take it away from you. You know, your name gets etched in the history books.
As I got older, I was watching a lot of bull riding tapes of Tough Hedeman and Lane Frost and all them guys, and the daddy of them all, and that was the one to win. So that was always a goal of mine, to get here and to win the Cheyenne Frontier Days.
I mean, from the time like I started rodeoing, you know, that's all I dreamed about. It didn't matter if I thought I was going to be a bull rider, you know, rather than a bareback rider, but just going and rodeoing for a living, trying to be a world champion, then obviously means all these big rodeos that you see. And I mean, Cheyenne being the daddy of them all, it's a pretty prestigious rodeo that you know about forever. You want one of them buckles, there ain't very many people that have them, you know.
And the atmosphere here, you know, stands are packed, and having to sit there in the box for 40 seconds till a calf walks to the line, or a tripping steer, and there's just no other place that we go all summer that's like that. Dang sure revs your motor up a little more over here.
Yeah, I'd say it gets easier every year, but it don't. Like, I'm still just as nervous today to run one than I was my first time. There's a lot of variables that go into this deal here, you know, with the lone score, the cattle. You never know which way they're going to go, and you know, you kind of got to cowboy up and just get the job done and trust your horse and your hazer, and hopefully it all lines out one more time.
I remember going to Stetson's earlier that year before Cheyenne, and he had won Cheyenne in 2019, and I remember seeing that saddle there and that buckle, and I just thought that was the coolest thing ever, and I wanted one myself.
Kai Hamilton from Mackay, Queensland. 2 years ago, the bull riding champion here in Cheyenne.
When I was able to get that done in 2021, my first year here, that was the coolest experience I've ever had.
Now it's time to get to business. It's the championship round here in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Cheyenne, Wyoming at the daddy of them all.
Where's Dad? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the daddy of them all.
You know, folks, you're not just going to watch a championship round of any ordinary rodeo. Today, you're going to watch the championship round of the greatest show on earth. Give it to us. 91 and a half.
No, this is so cool. You know, to split it with Clayton and Kate Saunier is, you know, obviously winning it outright's always really awesome, but it's. Oh yeah, that's from the dad. Kind of splitting it with the three of us is something that's never happened in 127 years of the Cheyenne Frontier Days, and it might not ever happen again. Who knows? You know, the daddy of them all, buckle and saddle, is you know, something I've always dreamed of, and you know, when I look back on my career, this will be something I remember forever.
You see somebody at a restaurant somewhere, or, you know, wherever you are, and you see a Cheyenne buckle, it's automatic respect for that person. You've been to the rodeo and you know how tough it is to win.
When I won the Cheyenne Frontier Days in 2021, that was a check off the bucket list rodeo. I always wanted to come here. I always wanted to win it.
Cheyenne's just a whole different feel. You know, we've been rodeoing hard all the 4th of July, and then everybody gets here and slows down. Almost everyone brings their family in here, and it's just so big and such an old rodeo, you know, like it just feels relaxing almost. But then at the same time, right before you get on, there's just this giant ball of energy because you're riding at Cheyenne.
There ain't no better feeling than running one half across the arena, and which would be the normal length of one arena, you know, and getting down on the big fresh one. So it's pretty wild, and just a way to put it.
Thank you.
Here you go.
The money spins, you know, there's always something we got to buy, another horse or practice cattle, or to me the tradition of it. If you can walk away with a Cheyenne Frontier Days buckle, you know, there's only so many guys that can say that. Getting to have one of those buckles and tell your grandkids that you won the daddy of them all, you know, that tops it for me.
It's Cheyenne Frontier Days.
The daddy of them all.
It's the daddy of them all.
It's the daddy of them all.
It's the daddy of them all.
We live it every day.